busiest team in free agency seems to be the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know, maybe it just feels like it, but 2 more signings for the Colts. That's why we are bringing you breaking news here on Colts Talk. First, Indianapolis is bringing in Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, a wide receiver. A little bit of offense finally for Indianapolis. A little more offense. We got Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones, but you know what I mean there. And then they stick on defense, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Lou Anarumo, right? Multiple years, about 5 years with the Cincinnati Bengals and Lou Anarumo. That's the connection there. Younger and faster on defense. You more filled a spot, and there's a Lou Anarumo connection. But before we deep dive into these guys, do want to let you know, we said it, we promised it, and we are following through. So if you didn't believe us before, hit that sub button now, because every time the Colts have a signing, we are on it with a video, whether it be a longer one like today's or a short. You'll stay up to date with the Indianapolis Colts in free agency by subscribing for free to Colts Talk right now. So this news hitting, man, red hot couple minutes ago. We're working here at Chat Sports, and great job by the team sending me an update here. Colts making moves. Felt this way yesterday where I sat down to get one video out, Colts sign another guy. Today I'm working on other stuff. You know, I host the Ohio State Football Report, other NFL stuff. Nope. The Colts back to business with the signings. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine and Akeem Davis-Gaither. I'm actually, believe it or not, I promise, I like Akeem Davis-Gaither a lot. I've liked him since he headed into the NFL draft. I thought he'd be a good fit on a couple different teams, so I had my eye on him. Look, the Chris Ballard school of press conference I preached many times, he said they want to get younger and faster on defense. I cannot promise you that that's what Akeem Davis-Gaither does for you. However, you are getting an experienced pro with a connection to Lou Anarumo. That is my vibe there overall. And we're going to deep dive also where things kind of stand with the linebacker room in general. You guys know, though, I do like to get grades on these bad boys. Give me your grade right now on these 2 moves by the Colts. Overarching, they get a receiver, they get a linebacker. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down in the comments section below. So you can see, last year with Arizona, nothing overly flashy. Got his numbers back up just a little bit. Man, not a good defense in Arizona, so I can't give Davis-Gaither like a, hey, he played great, and Arizona was great. Now, Arizona wasn't very good. I think your connection here is he's played solid football at times, and Lou Anarumo knows him and probably likes him, you would think, by bringing him into the situation. You see those numbers, Cincinnati, and I will note, like, Cincinnati, they've had their struggles, but, like, they expect to compete every single year. So he was a part of some competitive Bengals teams on defense for Cincinnati. I definitely and absolutely think that should go into what we are talking about with Akeem Davis-Gaither. I like the signing. Grade-wise for me personally, this is a B-minus signing. You kind of get an experienced guy here. And look, we're going to talk about this too with the wide receiver room today. You look at Akeem Davis-Gaither, and it forced me to look at the linebacker room, and geez, oh man, they need more. They need more. It's a start to get Akeem Davis-Gaither. And I have this saying, I say this with some of our other stuff. He has now walked into the room and is your best linebacker. I believe that. I think he's going to start for you, and I think he is your best linebacker as of right now. That is what it is. You can sit with that where you sit with that. That's why I give it a B rather than like a solid signing C+. It's you signed a starter for your defense in Akeem Davis-Gaither. They have to draft a linebacker. I don't want to get into a whole mock draft right now. Jake Golday, Cincinnati, please and thank you. You have to get a linebacker for this linebacker room. That group I just showed you, not good enough. Akeem Davis-Gaither walks in. He is now immediately a starter for the Indianapolis Colts on their defense and in their linebacker room. Now, taking a look, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine also forcing me to really review the depth chart, really look at what we've got going overall and kind of how things look for Ikhine, Westbrook, and the Colts as a group. And we'll get into what he does well in just a second. I will say the stats in Miami last year, and we'll look at his career stats in just 1 second. The stats in Miami last year, I'll just note, not a good year to be a Miami receiver. Waddle wasn't good. Tyreek Hill got hurt and wasn't good, and this didn't show who Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is. The crossword puzzle, name Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, you want to go back through his history. You're going to remember him, I'm saying, from this Tennessee year where he caught 9 touchdowns. And I was talking to Tom Downey, NFL Encyclopedia. He just said immediately, like, hey, there was that one year where he just caught touchdowns. Yeah, that was Tennessee a couple years ago. Obviously, again, his Miami season, it's a bad team, bad quarterback, bad situation, and it showed. You hope he can get back and more towards even just those 3 Tennessee years you're really, really like for him. We'll talk about his fit here, but I do want to ask your one word. These are always super interesting. I love getting these from you guys down in the comment section. You get one word, reaction to both of these Colts signing. You get a wide receiver, you get a linebacker. What is your one word reaction to these 2 guys? You're going to need more. I've said that about Alec Pierce, said that about Josh Downs, Tyler Warren, Mo Alley Cox, the basketball player from Notre Dame they signed yesterday. Everybody's got to get in there and do more. That includes Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Not enough receptions, not enough targets, yards, touchdowns. Do more this season for the Colts. Fresh start, fresh team, new opportunity. I really like where we're headed with this one for him, so that's what I want to see him do. Get in that room, compete, and just find a way to make a difference. I'm sure you'll see him on special teams. I'm sure he'll find a fit there. However, once again, I look at this group. I get into this group, and I low-key panicked earlier, and I said to myself, I hate that they don't have a number 2. Their number 2 receiver absolutely is up for grabs right now. Josh Downs is a slot receiver. Maybe he could move to that outside, but look, he's a good slot receiver. Why move him? Why change that up? Laquan Treadwell, re-signed by the Colts. That's your wide receiver 2, I guess, at this point in time. Maybe it is Nick Westbrook-Ikhine with a really good camp and some really good moments. That is a messy room, agreed? Just like the linebacker room, it's like, it's less messy than the linebacker. Of course, you like Alec Pierce, you like Josh Downs, but you do still have some things to figure out there. And then really after Westbrook-Ikhine, you look at the rest of that group, and it's like, man, I just don't know who fits where, why, and for how long at the wide receiver position. So, essentially, I expect this guy to bounce back. I expect him to compete for a starting spot. Yes, compete for a starting spot. Do a little bit on special teams. He's got a real opportunity here to do a lot for the Indianapolis Colts. So, 2 new additions today, and there's no sign that everything is going to slow down here for the Colts. Exact reason that you want to hit that sub button here on Colts Talk. Told you every single time they do a signing, we will have you updated. Once again, here we are bringing you the latest with the Indianapolis Colts here on Colts Talk. Be sure to hit that sub button to stay up to date.